Hope you all are fine and safe at home. Keep being safe and happy. Now, in today's class, we're going to see what is or what are parts of speech. Before getting into what are parts of speech, let's have a recapitulation of what we already know for certain. What we already know, like as we always have in our class, let's have some extra information today, like something around us. What is the national language of India? We all know that there is no national language for India. Then what are the official languages of India? The answer is yes, Hindi and English. In those two languages, which language are we most familiar with? The answer is most obvious, it is English. How many alphabets are there in the English language? Well, the answer is quite easy, only one. Now, how many letters we have in the English alphabet? That we all know, and it is 26. But if I'm going to ask you, how many words can we frame with the letters of the alphabet? Can anyone tell me the answer? Well, no one can. Because our language, the English, is a living language. It means it keeps on growing, like how we living beings keep on growing. In the same way, English language keeps on growing. It adds a new word to its dictionary every 2 hours, every counting 2 hours. So we can't be certain about that. But still, there is something that we can do with all the words. We can group all the words in the English language into 8 groups. Just 8 groups. Based on the job they do in a sentence. What do I mean by a job? A person. I cannot just say that this word is just belongs to any one group of the parts of speech, but I can just say that it is based on the job it does. Now, what is a job? A job, as we all know, is something that a person does, like how a person could be a doctor or a teacher or could be a driver or something like that. But some people are multi-talented. They can do many jobs at a time, like how our mother and father are. Like our mother could be a teacher, like she is a teacher right now at your home, and she could be a nurse, or she could treat you when you're sick, and she could be your driver when she drives you to school. So in the same way, there are some words which could do many jobs in a sentence. So I cannot just label a word saying that this verb is just this. So we can just say that a word or a name given to a word based on the job it does in a sentence is a parts of speech. Now, how many parts of speech do we have in the English language? We have 8 parts of speech. They are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, conjunctions, prepositions, and interjection. Now, in these, first we are going to see noun. Now, what is a noun? We all know for certain. Now, I'm just going to recapitulate it or revise whatever we know before. Parts of speech in that. A noun just states, well, it is a naming word. It names a person, place, animal, thing, feeling, or idea, or person. Example: Abdul Kalam, Kalpana Chawla, your name, my name, and it goes on. And place like India, school, library, museum, animal, lion, giraffe, cat, and so on. Things: book, statue, pen, box, table, and so on. Feeling for fear, joy, pain, and goes on. Idea for creativity, freedom, imagination. So these are nouns. If I'm going to go for pronoun, a pronoun just means pronoun, which means for noun. A pronoun replaces nouns in the sentence. Like for myself, I'll use I, and even myself for my name, that is a pronoun. So like I, you, we, they, he, she, it, me, you, yours, myself, their self, themself, this, that, these, those, etc., etc. So we have all these as pronoun. We'll see all these in detail in the following classes. Right now, I'm just giving you an introduction for what are the parts of speech. Next, we have verb. Verb. What's a verb? A verb is actually the most important in the parts of speech. I would call it as a king, because it's the dominant in the parts of speech. Why do I say it's a dominant one? Because you can never frame a sentence without a verb. Yes, it's not possible. You can frame a sentence without a noun or a pronoun, but you cannot frame a sentence without a verb. So verb is the most essential part of it. And not only that, the verb could only state the tense of a sentence. What is the tense? The past, present, and future tense. That could be found out only with the verb. So see just how important a verb is. Now, a verb states the action or a state. Action we all know, like play, jump, kick, recite, demonstrate. Like, I play football. He jumps and jumps until he reaches the place. Like he's playing, he's jumping right now. And then he kicked the ball, or Ram kicked the ball, and the teacher recited the poem. And then the class demonstrated the prose, in the before the whole school on the stage, and so on. And state, what's a state? State is not an action, but the situation of what's happening right there. Like, I believe in truth. Like, think before you act. Remember that health is very important for a good life, something like that. And then never fail to imagine. Never lose the power of imagination, like that. Like, imagine, like always imagine yourself in the best place in the future, and motivate yourself in the path, like that. And then hope for the best, like hope for the pandemic to end soon and to be back to school. Like, then we have adjective. What's an adjective? An adjective gives information about a noun or pronoun. It just gives information. Okay, we cannot say that it describes a noun, because even a, an, and the is an adjective. Yes, it is an adjective. And not only that, even my is an adjective. Do you believe me? So it gives information about a noun. We can go in detail about it, but right now we'll just say it gives information about a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. Example: beautiful, intelligent, blue, old, a, and the, and that is also an adjective. Like that book, so that is speaking about the book. It gives information about the book, so that is the adjective. If we're going to say an apple, it says that one apple. So which word says it's one? An. So that is an adjective. So in this sentence, Ratna owns an amazing blue car. Okay, in this, the car is a noun, and the word amazing and blue are adjectives, because amazing talks about the car, and blue also talks about the car, and even an talks about the car. So all these three are adjectives. The next four of the parts of speech we will discuss.